Why do I feel like I linger? I got enough of every melody. They all sound the same. From my broken heart, no remedy. Maybe if it's stay, I can get away with it. No, cause I'm feeling so free. No, cause I'm feeling so free. I feel be strong to hold the powers of the song. When I dream, believe in strength, now I'm the only one. That's why I give you
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Got started a little bit late tonight. Some other stuff kind of came up. But yet here we are, nonetheless, and whatnot. Yeah, pretty interesting week. Had a pretty interesting week. Last week spent all week at the in the illustrious city of Pittsburgh. If you've never been, I recommend you think twice about going. For those of you who don't know, I was pretty disappointed in the in the Pittsburgh Panthers lack thereof stadium. So yeah, it was pretty terrible in my opinion. Let's go ahead and see what we got in the chat here. What's up, Shelly Mack? Thank you for being here, sir. RJ all day, welcome back. Ram Dog, how you doing? Gil Lawson, haven't seen you in a hot minute. Digging that avatar though, that's pretty cool, sir. I like it. Hustle Mode, what's going on? And of course, the one and only Crimson Brave, how you doing there, sir? Welcome back to the channel. So glad you guys are here. So we're going to give everybody a few minutes here to go ahead and jump in and kind of see where we go. Going to go ahead and give you guys some updates on the season, some of the things we got planned, some of the things we're going to be doing. The format for this season. So if you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? What's up, Jason Ray? If you are not a person who has been around the channel for a while, this is your first go around for the season. Got lots of interesting news for you guys. Let you know how that's going to pan out. So Jason Ray, how you doing? Welcome back. Haven't seen you. Go Dogs, he says. Accurate assessment. Yes, sir, of course. Go Dogs. Typically, I will run the music a little bit longer, but since we got started kind of late tonight, I decided I would forego the 10 minutes that I normally do and just jump in at about 3. So lots to talk about. Give me 1 second here. Going to make a quick texturation. Let's see. Normally I don't do this. All right, got that out of the way. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. What's going on, Shane Elliott? P Digits. Welcome back to the channel. What up, Brett and people? Christmas is near. Sit down, sir. We don't discuss Christmas until we have completed Halloween. Halloween, one of my just most favorite holidays of any holiday in the world. Big Christmas fan. So clean my glasses a little bit because I cleaned them with something else before and it looks like I drug them through the dirt. So yeah, I got to redo that. Getting old, can't see like I used to, but it'll be all right. So a couple of things I want to talk about as we continue into this year's football season. I want to go over, we're going to talk a little bit about Georgia, Oregon. We're going to talk a lot about the college football rankings, and we're going to talk a lot bit about week 0/1, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go over the opening games I think are going to be interesting to watch. Give you guys some breakdowns on some of that stuff. So beginning college football season is like Christmas morning, Brett. You know what? You can't really argue with that. That's, you know what? That's an accurate assessment. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. All right. So first and foremost, I'm going to go through the college football rankings. These have been out for a little while. You can use a coach's poll. You can use AP poll. You can use my poll. You can use any poll you can think of except the one your mom uses. Just kidding. That joke came from my son. Wanted to share that with you guys. So the AP top 25 poll and the coaches poll are pretty much identical. Kind of get some mix up, mash up between 6, 7, and 8. We'll talk about that. Baylor, Oregon. I mean, they're all really close. These are all really good assessments, except that one poll, for some reason, has Texas in it, and the other one don't. Considering that Texas just lost some key players, I think the coaches probably should reassess that. But yeah. All right. So let's talk about college football rankings, week number 0/1. Ooh, the rankings come out. We have, you know what? I might be able to share that screen. That might just be the easiest thing to do. So let's do share screen, share a tab, rankings. Here we go. Okay. So as you can see here, we've got Alabama coming in at number 1. No reason to doubt that. Ohio State coming in at number 2. Understandable. Georgia, number 3. I understand that. Clemson, some questions here. I can see people going one way or the other with this one. Clemson, Notre Dame. These kind of make sense. Texas A&M, I can see that. Utah, I can see that. Michigan, absolutely. I probably would have put Baylor above Oklahoma just because they had such a good year last year. I'm not sure how Oregon is ranked number 11. We'll talk about that some more in a little bit. Oklahoma State, and as we wind down, we kind of get into some other stuff. But the big glaring point here is that at number 18 on the right-hand side of the coaches poll, we've got Texas. And if you look at this 1 right here, I want to tell you what that 1 means. That means that one coach somewhere voted Texas to be the number 1 team in the country. Texas is the number 1 team in the country. One coach really felt like Texas was better than Alabama, Georgia, or Ohio State. Somebody needs to explain that to me. How in the world can you put Texas at number 1? Need a little help with that one. So that's the wrong one. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, I don't know if the new coach decided that would be a good idea, but yeah. But one thing I do want to point out I found interesting was I saw Wake Forest up here at 19. Wake Forest preseason ranked inside the top 20. It's pretty interesting. Then Kentucky 2021, Cincinnati Bearcats 22-23. Mr. Owl, if you're watching this, sir, we will get to your video on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Don't you worry, it is in the mix. And then we've got BYU over here. Texas not on this list, BYU not on this list. So I think that's probably the 2 they would have swapped around. But yeah, for me, I'm not picking Texas as the number 1 team in the country. What's going on, Mayhem Matthew? Gray man, how you doing? Michael Hogue, doing good tonight, sir. And yes, I know you're a Purdue fan. He said, but go dogs. Texas Rock says that's because we are number one. Just like me, sir, I am number one in my own mind. So yeah, we know how that works around here. Very much understand that. But yeah. So preseason rankings, these seem to be pretty accurate and fair. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, excuse me, no Notre Dame. I may use that moving forward. Notre Dame and OSU going to be playing pretty much right out of the gate. Georgia and Alabama are going to be playing likely in the SEC championship. That will sort itself out. Alabama also playing Texas A&M. That's going to sort itself out. And then you have Ohio State playing Michigan. These are going to sort themselves out. A lot of this stuff right here is going to get very, very interesting. As the season moves on, we will see teams move up. We will see teams move down. But I think at the end of the season, what you're going to see at the end of the regular season is you're going to see likely an undefeated Alabama, an undefeated Georgia, a potentially undefeated Ohio State. I don't know about Clemson. We'll have to talk about that one when we get down the road a little further. Notre Dame definitely going to be defeated if Ohio State goes undefeated. Texas A&M will likely take at least one loss if because they play Alabama. And then you'll have Michigan playing. I think I already talked about that. But anyway, most of this stuff's going to sort itself out. Obviously, Oregon playing Georgia week 1. So there's going to be a lot there. Word if Saban voted Texas number 1. Hogue. That's what he says. Reminds me of Hulk Hogan. Michael Hogue says, I have to ask you, Brett, when are you going to do some of your true mysteries again and cooking on the Blackstone? Cooking on the Blackstone is Saturday mornings. We're starting to get back in the swing of things. It's hard to do videos when you're not super motivated, and getting up and cooking a big breakfast and doing a video when there's no football on just really is difficult for me to find that motivation. So that will be coming along shortly. Brett, I have Purdue playing Ohio State for the Big 10 championship and Clemson and Miami in the ACC championship. We got to work on you. We got to get you some new glasses, bud. Got to get you some new glasses. We'll look at that. What happens if Miami knocks off Clemson? That would be interesting. Because Miami is actually ranked here in the top 16. And they're ranked 17 in the coaches poll. So that will end up being an interesting one. They got a lot of new coaches over at Clemson, so a lot of interesting things going on there. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to. I'm going to stop this screen. We're going to go back to a different screen, but it makes you drop that out first, so I apologize. Let's look at the week 1 schedule. So here's week 1 schedule. Saturday, August 27th, guys. We are just 10 days away. The rest of this week and 1 week. Exactly. So 3 days and 7 days. That's 10 if you can't count. I can't count, but I got to 10 anyway. So Florida State, North Carolina, and that's probably going to be it. That's probably all going to be you want to watch. So not a whole lot, but it is football. So we're happy to see that back. Getting it the last week of August. Absolutely wonderful. Coming in this next Saturday, you won't even have to go a whole week. And there's actually some SEC teams playing. UCF is playing. If you're a big fan of UCF, and there's a lot of fans that are UCF fans. West Virginia, quite a few West Virginia fans out there for some reason, is playing number 17 ranked Pitt. Somehow Pitt's ranked 17, but we'll take it. This is going to be JT Daniels, the quarterback who transferred away from Georgia. This is going to be his first game. Likely going to be a very interesting game. We'll see what happens here. And guys, by the way, whenever I make a video or if I miss something, somebody got hurt, guys, I don't even know how many players in college football. If I get somebody, off a roster transferred, got an injury or something I don't know about, I'm sorry. I can't keep up with all of it. I don't think anybody can. Then we've got Tennessee playing Ball State. I want to watch this game. I want to see how Hendon Hooker does. If I had the money, I would buy 2 mustard bottles, and that would give me enough change left over out of a 20 to get a ticket for this Tennessee game. It's at Tennessee on Rocky Slop. If you want to go check that out, not super expensive over at Nay Lane Stadium. All these are night games, so Thursday it'll be after work, so you don't have to worry about skipping work to watch these games. Missouri is going to be playing Louisiana Tech. I only mention that because they're an SEC school, but there's really nobody else here you want to play. I mean, you want to see. I do want to see the following up Friday, another night game. Great. I'll be off. If you're on the East Coast, be able to watch Michigan State play Western Michigan. I've been a Michigan State fan, semi-fan for years. I like Michigan State. The Sparties, man, they win some games they shouldn't win, and they lose some games they shouldn't lose, but they're fun to watch play. I really enjoy watching Michigan State play. They're going to be a top 15 ranked team this year, so they're going to be worth watching, in my opinion. What's going on, Michael Porter, one of our resident members? Thank you so much for supporting the channel, sir. This is one of our longtime supporters of the channel. Really, very much enjoy Michael Porter and his support for the channel. Thank you so much, sir. Let's see here. Saturday, the second Saturday is where the games we start to see the real games being played. This is where you start to see the real teams start to come into the mix. Now, kicking it off at noon. I say kicking it off at noon. You've got two teams. You've got Texas A&M and Michigan, number 6, number 8. This is going to be fun to watch. I want to get a good look at Texas A&M, and I want to get a good look at Michigan because I want to see what they're working with after what they lost from last year. Texas A&M, that program has been consistently getting better. Really interested to see how they're playing over there. This will be a good opportunity. And then there's a bunch of nothing that you want to watch other games on, but they'll be, except for Iowa. That friend of mine's an Iowa fan. You might want to keep an eye on this game. They should blow South Dakota State out. I'm always a big fan of Iowa just because of what they do with the Children's Hospital that's built into their stadium. So Michael Porter brings up an excellent idea. Thumbs up, everybody, please. He wants you guys to hit that thumbs up button. If you like college football content and you're excited about college football, go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you appreciate the content and can't wait for college football to finally begin. Then around 3:30, and I say 3:30, it's probably like 3:37 or some weird kickoff time. They always have weird kickoff times. Number 3 ranked Georgia versus number 11 Oregon. Don't worry, we're going to talk more about that game here in just a few minutes. A lot to discuss and break down again. This game, you can get tickets for as low as $141. I think it's with the exception of that. Yeah, this game right here, Notre Dame, Ohio State, $355. I think it is either the most or second most expensive game of the day. Third, because there's 176. We'll come back to that. Oklahoma versus UTEP. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this off and on whenever Georgia's at commercials. Oklahoma playing UTEP. Man, I can't believe college football is almost here. I'm so excited. Miami versus Bethune-Cookman, Bethesda, Razamazdaza. Miami versus these guys. Miami should roll in this game. Shouldn't be a big deal. Arkansas versus Cincinnati. I want to see what Sam Pittman can do with Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been doing pretty well on the recruiting rankings, if I remember correctly. Geez, can't talk. Too excited. Arkansas versus Cincinnati. This is going to be a really good game. It's played in Arkansas, and the Arky fans have been chomping at the bit for this season to start. These guys are really excited, and with good reason. Sam Pittman's doing a great job over there. I want to see how they fare against the Bearcats. Let's see. Houston, they're 24. They're probably going to finish in the top 20, but I say 20, 21, 19, somewhere in there. We'll see how they do. USC versus Rice. If you're a USC fan, this is, I think, one of the best starting seasons they've had in a few years. For those of you who don't know, this is where JT Daniels came from, and I think it was Brandon Sloven. Anyway, that's the guy who took the job away from JT Daniels. I think he's gone now. I'm not sure, but that team's been getting a little bit better. We'll see how it turns out. Then we've got a few night games here that are going to be worth watching. So the Georgia game should be wrapping up. Don't worry about Ole Miss. Nothing to watch here. They're playing Troy. BYU playing South Florida. Nothing really to watch there. So the Georgia game, the Oklahoma game, the Miami game, and the Arkansas-Cincinnati game will be wrapping up sometime around that 7 o'clock, 7:30 game. That'll give you just enough time to flip over and watch the Utah absolutely destroy Florida. Florida's going to get roasted. Utah did really good last year, wrapped up their end of their year, I believe, by beating Oregon twice. These guys are on fire, they're looking for a taste. They got blood in the water. They want to take out an SEC team. Florida is a good candidate for that to happen. Sorry, Florida. It just is what it is. Number 10, Baylor taking on Albany. Baylor should roll in this game. Baylor looked really good last year. Defense was pretty stout last year, if I recall correctly. They were absolutely monstrous, and they did a really good job. X-Wing, where's X-Wing at? Hey, X-Wing, how are you doing tonight, sir? Remember the force is with you. Oh, there he is. X-Wing, how you doing, buddy? What's up, Texas Rocks? Can I help you, sir?
What you up to?
I'm just playing around on the internet. I was going to play some Minesweeper, maybe some chess. Why? We're just going over the college football ranking schedule. It's coming up. Teams that are playing. So then you've got Auburn. Excuse me, I skipped Kentucky. I want to get a view of Kentucky, see how they play. That should be kind of interesting. Miami, Ohio. I think they ended up ranked at some point last year. I'm not sure. I have to double check on that. Kentucky being in the top 20 might be one of Georgia's toughest games this year. Auburn versus Mercer. Auburn has really kind of fallen off since Gus Malzahn started losing pretty bad, and then they kicked him out. They really haven't been able to recover since. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, but not going to get overexcited about it. Nose is itching. Right up, and again, if the Georgia game ends a little bit early, you might get to watch some of this. I might get to watch some of this, but if it gets down to around 7:30, Alabama playing Utah State, they should be blowing these guys out by halftime. But the game everybody's going to be watching is going to be the Ohio State versus Notre Dame game. Everybody wants to know what's going on right here. This is going to make a huge, huge impact in the college football rankings. No way to know what's going to happen. I personally think Notre Dame is way out of their element. I think the gap between 1, 2, and 3, and those together, as I say, Group A, and then 4, 5, and 6, as in Group B, is a pretty good gap. I think there's a big, big gap between, say, the 3 and the 4 spot, depending on how you want to work those out. So, you good, bro? Okay, I was just checking you. I thought you needed something. So,
I know your stream. I'm gonna ask you whenever you check out the Tomahawk.
yeah, I'll be out there in a little bit. So I'm not going to go super long tonight. Let's see here. This game, I'll watch this game until it goes off. But I mean, I might take a chance to check on what's going on with the Texas ULM game and see what happens. And then Sunday, we actually get a Sunday game. LSU versus Florida State, and then Monday, for some weird reason. All right. For some weird reason, Clemson and Georgia Tech want to play on a Monday. I don't know how that happened or why that happened, but yeah, that's just terrible. Clemson should decimate Georgia Tech, by the way. LSU and Florida State, that might be an interesting game. Seeing as how it's going to be the only game on, and it's a night game, I'll be watching it. But yeah, that'll be interesting. So, and that's kind of the breakdown for, or at least my opinion on those games for the week 0 through 1. Michael Porter said, "Love my dogs. Give me my ring." A source told me if Notre Dame loses this game to OSU, they have to join the Big Ten. Maybe, not sure. Could be the case. And now let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Georgia versus Oregon game. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to share my screen again. I've already opened up the next tab here. So share. Guys, I don't know if you can see over here, but this says Georgia is predicted to be the matchup predictor gives Georgia a 91.5% chance of beating Oregon. So I pulled up some numbers earlier. Hold on. Hold that thought. I got another laptop over here. So I did the numbers. I went back and looked at the recruiting rankings, and Georgia consistently recruiting in the top 1, 2, 3, and maybe even 4, depending on what site you look at. And Oregon consistently recruiting around 10 and lower. So let me give you an idea of the gap of that distance there. So we're looking at 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Yes, we know players have left. But those are the years that players could potentially be playing in. So because of the COVID year. And some guys have 5 years of eligibility, whatever. So this is the recruiting rankings in 4-star recruits. Oregon has, in that period of time, recruited 59 4-star recruits. Not bad. Not bad. In that period of time, they have also recruited a grand total of 4. That's, you heard me correctly, 4 5-star players. 4 5-star players. The whole time, 4 5-star players. There has not been a season that Georgia has recruited less than 4 since 2018. And it may even been the case in 2017. I just didn't go back that far. Georgia has recruited 73 4-star players and has recruited 25 5-star players. Georgia literally has more than 6 times the amount of 5-star players on the field. If you combine all of their 5-star and their 4-star players together,
the Big
you
12.
still wouldn't have
It
as
is
many
always
4-star
the
players.
Wild Wild West. Well,
that ain't even counting the
Southwest,
5-star.
except for West Virginia, which is way east.
So
but no matter where the membership resides, all are always
there is
all
no
in
doubt that the
on
talent
offensive
gap
circus
is
that is Big 12
tremendous
football.
between these two teams. Georgia has
The theme for the Big 12
98
2022,
total
not to mention a
4-star
lot
or
of
higher
seasons in the
players,
not so distant future,
and
is
Oregon
changed.
has 63.
3 new head coaches,
Georgia
who won a
literally
slew of
has
guys who are
roughly
still early in their
33%
tenures,
more
and new coordinators
highly
are popping
talented
up around the
players
league
than Oregon.
like prairie dogs.
Now,
Perhaps the
we're not
biggest
even
of those
talking
newbies
about the quarterback.
can be found in Stillwater.
Bo Nix,
where
we all know
Vandy
Bo
head
Nix
coach
is fairly
Garrett
terrible.
Mason left Auburn to try
He's
and
never
help get
defeated
Oklahoma
Georgia.
State
I made a mistake in
over
one of
the
my
hump that
videos, and I
kept them
said,
out
hey,
of the college football playoff one year
yeah,
ago.
I need to get rid of that.
Oklahoma
That's all. Can't hear me over the other window. Was that true? Tell me if that's true. You couldn't hear me when I had the other window up. Oh, is it because it started playing sound? Okay. Okay. I hate that there's such a delay. Okay. So could you guys hear me the whole time? Okay. So Georgia has 98 players that they have recruited. Oregon's at 63 as far as quality players go. And you can talk about players getting injured and moving around and, whatever. But at the end of the day, Georgia has been recruiting at an elite level. Georgia's number 2s are likely as good as the Oregon number 1s. Now, you guys can get mad if you want to. I'm not making up the numbers. The numbers come from the recruiting cycles. The numbers come from the yardage. All of Oregon's quality players, for the most parts, are gone. Keep in mind that when they had more pieces than they have now, they couldn't beat a Utah team. Utah blew them out. Now they got a brand new head coach. They got a brand new quarterback. They lost pretty much all of their talented skill position players that were their number 1 guys. I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen. I think that Oregon is going to get decimated by Georgia. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close. What's up, Kev? Appreciate you being here, sir. Appreciate it. So you're looking at a myriad of problems for Oregon, and these Oregon fans, man, they're just borderline delusional. It's bad. Like it's bad. Like it's really bad. Like these guys think that they're going to come in there and blow Georgia out. If you don't believe me, get on some of the Facebook groups and look at them. I mean, it's bad. So let's see if I can pull up the stats for Bo Nix. Let's look at team. Well, he's not even on here, man. He's not even on the Oregon stats. I got to go down to Auburn. Man, how bad is that? How bad is that? Can I even find it? Let's see your stats. Here's good old Bo Nix. Bo Nix with a 61% completion rating. Never had a year where it was above 64 completions. 25% of his. And don't give me that stuff that, well, he's going to be behind a better offensive line this year. Listen, you're not going to torch Georgia's secondary. There's too much talent there. If you don't believe me, can somebody remind me who got that interception against the Heisman winning quarterback that was standing behind an Alabama offensive line? What was that young man's name that caught that interception and sealed the game for Georgia? What was his name? Oh, yeah. I believe it was Keely Ringo, who was a true freshman, and he's back. So I'm pretty sure if Keely Ringo can pick off Bryce Young, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna do okay. He's gonna do okay. Georgia has lost one or two people in the to injury. That's normal in the offseason, but it's not going to be this runaway game that Oregon thinks you're going to have, because they're going to out talent Georgia. You're not going to out talent Georgia. Georgia's too deep. You're not going to out talent Alabama. Alabama's too deep. You're just not going to do those things. You're not, and it's difficult to out talent a team like Ohio State that's consistently recruiting in the top 2, 3, 4 every year. So whenever you've got teams like that, they're just super deep. At the beginning, and this is the other thing. Have a good night, Pete Idris. So this is the other thing. The last season, at the beginning of last season, nobody was talking about how many players that Georgia had that was going to go pro. Nobody had a thought in their mind that Georgia would have that many players going pro. So what ends up happening is, what's going on, Sarah? So what ends up happening is Georgia is developing these players and turning them into NFL players. They don't start at Georgia that way. They end at Georgia that way. And Georgia's likely going to have another 6, 7, 8 guys that go in the NFL this coming up here. That's normal for a quality program. Alabama's been doing it. Georgia's now doing it. LSU did it, and then they didn't have the talent to reload because they weren't training them up because, well, Coach O was kind of a one-hit wonder. I mean, once Joe Brady was gone and once Joe Burrow was gone, that program was over. So when you get 4, 5, 6 players, 7 players, 8 players every year that are going into the NFL, that's what maintains your recruiting cycle. That's whenever Georgia goes out and say, hey, look, we won a national championship with a walk-on quarterback and a bunch of freshmen, and we still put 15 guys in the NFL. Georgia is so loaded at the talent position that Jermaine Burton decided to go play for Alabama because he knew he wasn't going to get to touch the rock as much as he was going to. Dan Lanning has no answer for the tight end room at Georgia. It's one of the most advanced tight ends in the country, if not the most talented. It's one of the most talented, if not the most talented. It's going to be extremely difficult for anybody to slow down Darnell Washington, Brock Bowers, Arik Gilbert. I mean, how are you going to stop those guys? These are large, physical tight ends that can move to the wide receiver position if necessary. Georgia's run game is going to be just fine. Georgia's offensive line this year is arguably better than it was last year. Stetson Bennett's going to have even more time. Offensive line is going to open bigger holes. Your only prayer at stopping Georgia is to stop the run. And you're not going to stop the run. Nobody stops the run against Georgia unless you're Alabama, and you can't do that all the time, even if you're Alabama. So while Oregon may hang around a little bit in the first half, Georgia's going to out-talent them and outwork them in the second half. I'm just telling you, the environment plays a difference. It's going to be home field advantage for Georgia. There's going to be a bazillion Georgia fans there. The air is going to be thick, and it's going to be difficult for Oregon. They don't train like we do. Have you guys seen their training video? Oh, my goodness. Guys walking around bragging on how to pick up 25-pound plates. You're bragging in the weight room about 25-pound plates, and you're wearing socks. Brett and Kev, do you see Brock Bowers having 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns like I do? No, sir, I don't, because there's too many weapons for Georgia. They're going to spread that ball around. I could see him getting to 800 maybe, but 1,000 would be difficult. 45 feet deep. I'll take 45 deep sea dives in a chamber without getting wet. Yeah. Brock had a breakout season last season. He's going to be even better. The thing I'll put on you guys' radar is that all the stuff coming out of training camp is talking about how good Darnell Washington has become. So keep your eyes open for that. And there's a couple of names on the defense that has kind of started to stick out. So yeah. What about double-digit touchdown? Oh, absolutely. I absolutely believe he'll get at least 10 touchdowns. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He's too much of a force to be reckoned with. You get down to the goal line and let's just say it's 2nd and 6 or 3rd and 3 and they give that ball to Brock Bowers, or I mean he's just going to be any big tight end who's talented. They're super difficult to stop. Go back and look at, I think it was Pitts that played for Florida. Man, that guy gave us fits, or was it Grimes? I can't remember. I think it was Pitts. Huge tight end for Florida. Love to watch this guy play, except when we played him. We had no answer for that guy. Just super, super difficult to tackle. Took 2 or 3 guys to tackle him. It's going to be interesting watching somebody try to tackle a big tight end like Brock Bowers. Get your pig line removed Friday. Boy, I know you'll be happy to get that thing out. Woo, get it, girl. How many 5-star quarterbacks do we have? We have 2 5-star quarterbacks, a 4-star quarterback in Carson Beck. And last year, Stetson Bennett had the 3rd highest QBR overall, and I think he was either 3rd or 4th in efficiency rating. So he's very, 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 very good quarterback. Brett, I have to ask, are they going to run a lot of 2 tight end, 2 RB this year at Georgia? I have no idea. When you got that many weapons, I mean, what do you do? I don't think Georgia's defense is going to be as good as it was last year, but I still think it's going to be a top 10 defense, if not a top 5 offense. Given the fact that Georgia plays a schedule that's kind of soft once you get past, even if you want to consider it tough, an Oregon team and maybe a Tennessee or a Kentucky. That's really the only teams that would give Georgia any headaches in the regular season. Everybody else should be double-digit 3-score wins. Every game Georgia plays should be a blowout. I honestly think that the Georgia Oregon game is going to be fairly one-sided. I really do. I was watching a video because I mean, when you do this, when you're one of those guys that sits around and you watch college football stuff all the time, you watch all these content creators, and there's somebody out there who was saying that in order for Oregon to beat Georgia, they were going to have to score more than, I think he said 18 points. So you're telling me that you think Oregon's defense is good enough to hold Georgia to 17? That's what you're saying. I don't think it's even going to be close. You think South Carolina will be a good game with Spencer Rattler? No, sir, I don't. I don't think their offensive line is going to have an answer for anything Georgia does on defense. I think Georgia's defense has escalated to the point that they will pretty much overwhelm any team that is not superiorly deep. Spencer Rattler may try to throw the ball deep, but I don't think they have the wide receivers to match up with Georgia's cornerbacks. You may out-scheme Georgia in a quarter. After that, Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart are going to make adjustments, and you're going to be in hot water pretty quick. What's up, Ballard? Michael, Kevin Brett, if Georgia trips up this year and loses a couple of games, who would they lose to and why? I don't think Georgia would lose to a couple of games. I think Georgia would. If Georgia loses one game, it'll be something like that Carolina game where we just the weather played a major factor and we just had a bad game at the same time. Big Juicy Gaming says, "Hey, Big Dog Brett, big Georgia fan, by the way. Do you think it's possible we win the Naughty this year?" Yes, it's possible. It is very possible. Georgia, I think, has the 2nd or 3rd best odds of winning a national title. So anytime you can be ranked that high, that's a good season. Certainly possible. It's very difficult. It's difficult to win a national championship. It is even more difficult to go back to back. I think Alabama's the only team that's ever done it in the college football playoff era. What are the chances of Georgia beating Bama? Because Bama is going to come with seriously. I'm not sure what you mean, but I can answer the first question. What's the chances of Georgia beating Bama? I would say better last year than this year, but I would also say that Alabama beat Georgia last year, and Georgia should have beaten them for the SEC championship game. We just had a bad game, and Nick Saban's a genius. They outplayed us. So I think when you're talking the top 1, 2, or 3 teams in the country, I think it's very easy to say that either one of those teams could win. Any of those teams could win. So if not Oklahoma, if Ohio State played Alabama, say 5 times, I mean, I can see Oklahoma winning 2, and I can see Georgia winning 2. It just is what it is. Now, if you ask me if could LSU beat Alabama, I'd say no. I'd say 5-0 Alabama. If you asked me if Clemson could beat Alabama, I'd say 1 out of 5. Something like that. But for the most part, I would say that it's that 40% to 60% chance, depending on the team. Sarah Krantz says our O-line needs to work some kinks out. I think we'll be fine if we stay healthy. I think that's I think that's all of the top teams right now. Is the healthy teams are going to do really well. Stetson won us an Natty, but people are still doubting him. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people doubting Stetson Bennett. I want people to openly doubt Stetson Bennett again because it drives that young man. He does a great job. I had to formally apologize to Stetson Bennett after the Michigan game. He did a really great job. My nose will not stop itching, by the way. Hate that I have to keep scratching my face, but Stetson Bennett won us a national championship. He could have folded it up shop after that fumble. He could have said the referee screwed us. Georgia fans would have jumped on that bandwagon and rode it all the way to the end of time. But at the end of the day, he was like, no. He was like, I'm not going out like that. I'm fixing to take our team and win a national championship. And he did. Now, Keely Ringo did seal the game, but Georgia was still winning before that. So, yeah. Let's see. As for what you asked, Brett, I could see maybe losing Tennessee or Kentucky, but not both of them. I don't really see either one of those. I think Kirby Smart has finally got the team turned to a point where the mentality is they don't look past games. I mean, name the last time you saw Alabama looking past a game. They just don't. If they lose a game because they get into a shootout or something and a defense is having a terrible day, that's one thing. But you got to have a team that's got an elite defense. I mean, an elite offense. And I think Ole Miss did it a couple years ago. So, 3rd and Ringo. Exactly. People doubt Stetson Bennett because they remember Stetson Bennett from the early years. In the early years, whenever Stetson Bennett was struggling, he'd come in and have a bad game. And so that's the impression that a lot of casual Georgia fans have. Man, my nose will not stop itching. That's the impression a lot of Georgia fans had. And that's the impression I had until I went back and actually looked at the stats. And I really became excited about how good he really is. If I can impress anything upon you, it is that Stetson Bennett, never mind the whole backstory behind him, he has learned how to play college football. He didn't come in as an elite talent. He worked it. Like you just couldn't outwork this guy. He figured it out, man. And so go Clint. You're funny, man. It's my mustache hair. It curls. Some of it starts to curl up. And so I have to put where's it at? I put beard oil in it to help kind of calm it down, but it doesn't always do the job. So I have to go in and snip stuff. Glad to hear that. And are you Zephyroth? I think he is a Georgia fan. Yeah, he's a Georgia fan. But looking at the upcoming game, it's going to be very difficult for Oregon to compete with Georgia. You may have those first quarter, everybody's kind of getting the dust knocked off. You're getting out there and you're hitting somebody else. You've been hitting the same guys for months now, and you want to get out there and hit somebody else. There's I think we lost. Was it Arian Smith or Chris Smith? We lost one of those guys, a speed demon, but I think Georgia's going to be just fine. People keep overlooking Jalen Carter, and I'm fine with that. That guy's going to be a beast, and they keep overlooking Georgia's defensive line, and I'll make a video on that later. But it's going to be pretty bad for Oregon, I think. I told you that Georgia was coming. Do you believe me now? I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. Absolutely believe you. Can't wait to believe you again. But so now that you've made it this far into the show, I do want to tell you guys some of the changes we're going to make. I'm going to change the backdrop. This backdrop is currently a tan color, and I don't really care for it. I don't like the way the light works. The camera doesn't do the things I want it to do. My side lights don't pop the color the way I want to. That tan kind of muddles them out. So when you see some changes back there, that's why. We're going to move some stuff around. We're going to keep some of the Georgia stuff up. We're going to try and put up some other college football stuff. Yeah. So I do want to point out that we got this book right here, Dog Struction. Go check out Dean Legge over at Dog Post. That if you don't have that book and you're a Georgia fan, you need to get that book. It's a great read. It really is. They also, if you buy that book now, they're sending out an additional magazine with it about the upcoming season. I think he's running out. So, guys, go over there and check out Dean Legge at Dog Post. And I'm not paid or none of that stuff. He didn't ask me to do it. It's just a really good read. And if I see something and I enjoy it and I like it, I'm going to share it with you guys. Sarah, can you please tell me Texas me is coming? They're going to win a national championship. Texas will win a national championship in 2026. Brett, where's the national championship banner from last year, or is that under lock and key? That is currently not on display. Currently not on display. So, yeah. Yeah, Georgia's done a great job of staying in the hunt. Alabama's done a great job of staying in the hunt. I do want to put something out there, though. I think if Georgia beats Nick Saban again, beats Alabama again in a national title at the end of this year, I think he will likely retire. I think 2 losses to former assistants like that, back-to-back years, that might be more than he wants to aggravate and deal with. And he keeps talking about how NIL is making it harder and harder and harder. So, and this is the first time I've ever seen Nick Saban make the comments that he makes about his team not winning. And so I'm beginning to wonder if his mindset is starting to change a little bit. And I don't blame the guy. Texas football has absolutely, I think his contract does run until 2028, but I also think that when you got as much money as he does, he doesn't care if he cancels the contract. You can't make him coach. You can't make him coach. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Try to make Nick Saban look bad in Alabama. Are you kidding me? The guy will be a legend. His kids will be legends. I mean, grandkids will be legends. Mrs. Terry will be a legend. I mean, look at what he's done, not just for Alabama. Look what he's done for college football. Look at what he's done for college football. If you didn't have powerhouse teams like Georgia, Alabama, and I will say Texas when they used to be a powerhouse, your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Notre Dames, your Clemsons, Miami back when it was a powerhouse, Florida State back when it was a powerhouse, Oregon back when they had Marcus Mariota and Black Mamba, USC, back when you had teams that were out there just killing it. I mean, just great football players. Look at what that does for college football environment. And if you don't have that college football environment without those teams, if it's just a bunch of people that suck at playing football, you don't want to watch it. It's hard to get behind. Marie Just Me says, hi, Brett. Anyone sweating the Oregon game? I may be. Go Dogs. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. I just spent about 20 minutes explaining why you shouldn't. I'm gonna make another video explaining why you shouldn't. So yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen your name though, Marie. I'm not sure, but it may be the first time. So as you guys know, we are trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. We're like 300 and some change away. You guys will share this, tell your friends, put it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is that you're at. And you can share one of these videos. That would be great. It really, really helps the channel. I can't get to all the places you guys get to. And without your help, I wouldn't have gotten where I'm at. So really appreciate you guys. I also just learned, I'm telling on my age here, that most people under the age of like 30, I think it's under the age of 30, or it might be like 28 or something, that don't have a Facebook account. So I keep telling people to share it on Facebook, and there's people who don't even have Facebook accounts. So yeah. But share it whatever social media you're currently using. It really helps. There's a share button somewhere down here. I think it's over. I think it's over there. No, it's might be right there. He's gonna quack up. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that Oregon and Miami were fighting about who actually uses a duck for their mascot. But I'm convinced that I'm convinced Miami has a duck too. I'm telling you right now, Marie, and I hope I'm saying, I don't know if it's Mary or Marie. I'm going to go with Marie. If you are worried about Dan Lanning, you shouldn't be, because the defenses that you saw wasn't a construct of Dan Lanning's defensive genius. It was a construct of Kirby Smart and Will Muschamp's combined experience and defensive genius. That's why. So yeah. Now I think we're going to be just fine. Well, guys, we're coming up on just past the 10:30 hour. Much appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Much appreciated for you guys being here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Help us get to 6K. Go check out Dogstruction. Be with me throughout the season, during the season, and all the highs and lows. We're going to make videos every single week. We're going to do live shows every Wednesday night. We're going to do Saturday mornings, the breakfast breakdown on Saturday mornings. We're going to do halftime reports. We're going to do fan ending, fan reactions. You can watch me have fun. You can watch me lose my mind. You can watch me trash talk. You can watch me hopefully not have to eat any crow this year. But it seems, unless you go undefeated, you got to eat crow at some point. So you'll get to watch that too. So stick around for the ride. It's a great bunch of people here, and it's better with you. So if this is your first time watching one of these videos, please subscribe, come back, enjoy the content, and enjoy the other people in the channel. I have the greatest community in all of college football that come and share their experiences with me and tell me that I'm terrible at remembering stats and talking about players and picking teams. So, hey, what's up, Kangaroo Black? Hey, you guys go get a chance. Go check out Kangaroo Black. He is absolutely one of the realest Alabama fans you'll ever see. Love his content. Great guy. Go check out Kangaroo Black and subscribe to his show as well. I try to support everybody. Michael Porter says, have a great night. Sleep tight. Stay safe. God bless. Go Dogs. Man, I almost couldn't have said it better myself. Sarah Kane says, I'm going to get me a Blackstone B-Dog Brett so I can cook with you on game day. You do that. You do that. All right, guys, tell everybody in the comment section, you say your goodbyes, tell your friends, you holler at them later. We will do another show real soon. We'll be getting back into gear real soon. Really appreciate you guys. We're going to give you a countdown and then we're out. Do me a favor. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.